John Sheahan now with us now, former Sergeant SWAT officer for the Las Vegas Metro Police Department, sir, and thank you for your time and your experience to share with us now. My guess is if you've got a 10-minute window when you hear shots fired to the point where there's no more shooting, and you know the Mandalay Bay is 43 stories tall, and you're standing on the ground looking up, you're counting down and you're counting up to try and isolate the floor. And we know they were guessing between floor 29 and floor 32, and that's where they found the guy.
Yes, that's correct. And imagine how hard that would be, because there's gunfire going on and you're not sure when you can poke out and look up and see where that gunfire is coming from. Compounded by the fact that this is in the middle of the night, you've got gold neon going up in between those windows and makes those windows appear very black. As you saw with your reporter that was out at the scene today, it just looks like gold neon going up the side of those buildings. Very difficult to find out and pinpoint exactly where that gunfire is coming from.
Yeah, it was premeditated. It was planned in great detail. We know that clearly from the evidence we've been given already.
Clearly.
But these officers did not wait for orders. They did not wait for superiors. They just acted.
They did what we trained them to do, which was to go directly to the source of the incident, which is the shooter. What we train is three things: stop the shooter, save lives, and rescue civilians. Well, you can't do 2 and 3 until you do 1. So we have to stop that shooter, or there's going to be continued loss of life. So very early on in the police academy, we train our officers, and their brains become wired that they need to go to that gunfire. We were one of the first SWAT teams in the United States to come up with an active shooter protocol in the wake of Columbine.
Wow, very interesting there. Also, the security at the hotel has been given great praise on behalf of the sheriff. And there was a security guard who approached that door, and now we know the killer on the other side knew he was coming because he had a camera inside that door. Through the people.
Yes, we do.
That security officer was shot in the leg, and that's when everybody else knew where the room was and where the target was to be found.
Exactly. If not for Mandalay Bay security, this could have been a lot worse, and it would have taken a lot longer to pinpoint exactly where this person was. So kudos to Mandalay Bay for that, and for leading our officers to where they needed to go to be able to stop this threat, and our SWAT team, which eventually made entry into the room.
Amazing to get your comment on the fact that how Vegas has excelled since Columbine. What else do you think they learned from this? Can you characterize that?
We are going to all learn a lot. I really believe that as every one of these, we learn the most from our biggest tragedies. And unfortunately, this is going to become part of a terrorist's playbook. We weren't expecting or anticipating anything like this. Haven't seen anything like this in the past. But and what a daunting task for those SWAT team officers to traverse that 100-yard hallway, knowing someone's already been shot through that door, knowing that there are cameras in front of that door, and having to make entry through there, not knowing whether that person was still alive inside or not, the shooter or not. And undoubtedly, because they were closing in, is when he ended up taking his life.
Amazing. John Sheahan, thank you for your time today. Appreciate you coming on with us today. All right.